us to use my teacher voice, even though I'm a counselor. Welcome to the scholarship night. I appreciate you all clearing your busy schedules to be here tonight. I am Colleen Breton. I am a school counselor here. This is my first year here at Middleborough High School, and I'm also the scholarship coordinator this year.
I'm Steve Goldman. I'm a counselor here too. I'm the scholarship coordinator emeritus, I guess. That's what. So I've been working with Colleen in showing her how the scholarship program works, and she really doesn't need me at this point, but I thought I'd come to support and help out if there was any questions. So we're all glad that you came tonight. How many of you got the video, got a chance to look at the video over vacation? Okay, so we are going to show that video again. Luckily it's a short one. The difference between the video and tonight is we're also going to walk you through how to access applications and just process these stuff, and then take questions and answers. This isn't usually a long evening, but we will be here as long as we need to answer any questions and make sure you guys are set and ready to do this. The one thing I will emphasize is every year there are thousands of dollars left on the table because students just don't do their due diligence and apply. There's some scholarships in that scholarship book there is no criteria for. You don't have to have a certain GPA, you just need to be a graduating student from Middleborough High School going to college. We're lucky sometimes if we get 10 people that apply for that scholarship. We should have a whole class that's going, everyone going to college applying for that. So you really, on the other side of things, if you don't have most of the criteria that they're asking for, we wouldn't recommend spending the time filling out an application. If you have most of it, then give it a shot, certainly. But as people that review some of the scholarship applications, and not all of them, not even close to all of them, we end up filtering through a lot of people that are applying for business in the scholarship of somebody that wants to be a teacher. So we just don't want you to waste your time, and want you to work efficiently. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back to Colleen.
All right. Hopefully this works.
Hi everyone, my name is Colleen Breton. I am one of the school counselors here at Middleborough High School.
I'm Steve Goldman, I'm also a school counselor here at Middleborough High School.
And we're here today to present about the 2024 scholarship program. As you know, the night had to be postponed until Monday, March 4th due to the weather that we had this week. But we wanted to give the opportunity to record the presentation so you can get a head start on getting organized for the scholarships. Okay, so for our 2024 scholarship program, we do have a scholarship book. This is located on our website. In the next few slides, I will show you how to access the scholarship book on the website. But this is going to be where all your scholarships are listed. We have 3 different sections, and we're going to go through each section in a minute. I am happy to say, for example, for section 1, we have 48 scholarships we're offering this year alone, just in section 1. So we're very excited for this opportunity, and we're looking forward to showing you how you apply for each section and what the process is going to be. So like I just said, the scholarship book is located on our website. You are going to want to go to the Middleborough High School website. Then you're going to click About Our School, go to the School Counseling tab, and then you're going to click Scholarship Information tab. Once you get there, the scholarship book will be the first thing that you see. Again, you're going to want to review the scholarship book. You're going to want to make note of which scholarships you are eligible for each section, and then organize your materials. Something else that I want to bring up is that the website for sections 1, 2, and 3 have not been fully updated yet.
They're
We're
updated
hoping
now.
that will be updated in the upcoming few days. But for right now, it's still showing the 2023 scholarships. So please just wait until that is updated. It says 2024 scholarships. Okay, so section 1. So section 1 is the Middleborough High School application. That's what we use for section 1 scholarships. We do have a sample copy in the scholarship booklet, and we do have it in the presentation as well. To access the application, you will go online to the Middleborough High School website. You will click on the scholarship link, and then you will click on section 1. Next, you will want to click the MHS scholarship application and download and complete your applications. And we will go through on how to do that momentarily. Things to note about the Section 1 scholarships is most of the deadlines will be Friday, April 5th, 2024. There are a few scholarships that are keeping the March 15th deadline, so we recommend that you go through the book one by one, you highlight which scholarship you qualify for, that way you can keep organized when your deadlines are. So in order to do Section 1 and to apply, you will want to click on the application link and open up the application. You will want to type your responses in Part 2 and 3 sections in the application. You're going to want to go back to Part 1 and click on the drop box and select the scholarship you are eligible for. You will then want to print the application, and then on the other side, because it will be double-sided, is the activities sheet, which I will show you what that looks like, and you will need to fill that out. Then you're going to need to staple additionally requested materials. So one of the additionally requested materials is the FAFSA Student Aid Information Sheet. This will be received through your FAFSA application. You'll get an email when it's ready, and you'll be able to access it through your FAFSA account. We're recommending that we attach scholarships just that way the organizers and sponsors know the financial aid situation for your family. And you're going to want to repeat this for each scholarship. And I do want to make note that it is your responsibility as a student to make sure all your applications are complete and done correctly. So this is what the application looks like. Again, you're going to fill out Section 2, which is just your student information, parent information, and sibling information. And then you're going to fill out Section 3 of that, which is why did you choose this major, what's the cost of attending the school. And then you're going to go back to Section 1, which is going to be the drop box, and select the scholarship. Again, this will be double-sided and with your activity sheet on the back that you will fill out. And again, you're going to want to attach your FAFSA Student Aid Information Sheet as well to this. This is what the activity sheet looks like. So this is very similar to the activity sheet that you might have done for letters of recommendation. Again, fill this out to the best of your ability, making sure that you remember each activity you've done. You know, if you were a captain of a sports team, if you got any type of honors or awards. Keep in mind, a lot of these sponsors and organizations don't know who you are, so it's important that you highlight how wonderful you are. Okay, so Section 2 is Dollars for Scholars. So Dollars for Scholars is a nonprofit organization. And one thing that's nice about Dollars for Scholars is it's one application for all the scholarships, and they will determine which scholarships you are eligible for. And I will show you how you can access Dollars for Scholars. And again, that deadline is also Friday, April 5th, 2024. So you want to click on the MHS scholarship application link, and then you want to go down to the Middleborough Dollars for Scholars link, and then you're going to want to click on that, and that's going to bring you to the website, which looks like this. And it's going to give you a little blurb about Dollars for Scholars, how they are a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. You are then going to want to click on the student profile. That will bring you to a page that looks like this, and then you're going to want to click don't have an account yet, create one here. So it's a little bit in the fine print, but we did put the arrows there for your convenience. Again, you'll make the account, you will do the application, and it's one application for this section, and they will determine which ones you are eligible for.
Okay, Section 3. These are sponsors that have their own applications. So when you click on the Section 3 link on the website, you're going to see a list of all the scholarships that have their own applications and are not using Dollars for Scholars or the Middleborough application. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the application that you need after you've read the description of the scholarships, print the application out, complete the application, and then staple any additional requested materials to the application, and then you just repeat that for the next scholarship that you're applying to. In Section 3, these applications, these scholarships, all use one application. So you only have to complete the application one time. They're listed for each one of these scholarships, but you only have to complete one application, and you will be considered for all of these scholarships. So we'll save you a whole bunch of time just completing one and then submitting it. Requesting a transcript. This is the form that you're going to need to complete in the event that scholarship is asking for a transcript. Now, there's not a lot of scholarships that ask for transcripts. We're going to go over that in a minute. You can acquire this form by going to the school counseling office and seeing Mrs. Punt, and she can give you one of these forms to complete in the event you need one. This list here are the Section 1 applications that require either an official or an unofficial transcript. So if the description doesn't ask you for any type of transcript, you do not need to submit one, and you shouldn't submit one. You should only give them the materials that they're asking for. If you need an unofficial transcript, you will get one copy from Mrs. Pont, and you can make as many copies of that as you need to put into the scholarship applications that are requesting them. If you need an official transcript, and you can see there are not a lot that are asking for official transcripts, then you need to specifically list on that application, on the request form, down at the bottom, which scholarships you're requesting transcripts for. So, many of you have probably already heard that there's a delay with the FAFSA form. And they've redone the form this year, and everything has been delayed since the beginning, and it continues to be delayed. So this is what we know so far. The Department of Education has announced that the colleges and universities will be notified on their allotment of federal student aid sometime between mid to late March. What can you do in the meantime? Students should still file their FAFSA now. If they haven't already, for full consideration for financial aid they may be eligible for. We highly recommend and encourage students to file even if they think they won't qualify for federal aid, because many university-funded grants and awards require a FAFSA for eligibility. Students can use the net price calculator, and you can just Google that, to estimate the first year costs of their education while factoring in potential federal aid, grants, and more. Students should go to the MHS website, review the scholarship book, and make a list of scholarships that they are eligible for. And then the students should be checking their email frequently for updates from the colleges regarding their deadlines and whether or not they are ready to go with the financial aid process, and also for updates from the school counseling office on what we know, what we're finding out in order to keep you guys on track with everything. So everything is a little bit up in the air right now. Our best recommendation to you is use February vacation as a time to get all these things out of the way. So once we know for sure what's going on, we will email you the application for the scholarships when it's going to be posted on our website, and you can just go in and select and complete for the scholarships that you've already decided you're going to apply for. It's really important to make sure that you include your financial aid information with the application, and if they're asking for any other materials, if you do not submit a completed application, there's a good possibility that the sponsors are just going to put that application aside and not consider it. It's also important to know that you need to make sure you're submitting your application to the proper sponsor. Only a handful of the scholarships get submitted to the school counseling office. Most of the others go directly to the sponsors, either through email, through a link on their websites, or by the US mail. It's really important to know that if you do not get those applications in by the established deadline, there's a very good possibility you will not be considered for that scholarship. And there were a lot of applications that were tossed aside last year that was reported back to us because of students that either did not submit completed applications, or they did not meet the deadline for it. So remember to watch the deadlines, pay attention to where and how to submit. We just talked about that. Assure that you have all of your materials and your application is complete.
All right, so that is it for our presentation. We hope that this was helpful. Again, we are going to have a scholarship information night that Monday, March 4th at 6 p.m. here at Navarre High School, hopefully in the Black Box Theater. And we have an infographic going out for that, and we'll confirm that location. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to email your school counselor or email one of us. Again, again, we won't be available via,
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there, because then we're going the whole spiel, how we're not available, school vacation week, and that's already happened. Good news is, everything's updated on the website, so when we recorded that, we did that because we were supposed to have scholarship night, and then I don't know if you guys remember, we had a snow day. So it was canceled, and we wanted to get the information out as soon as we could, so the good news is, everything is updated on the website. So in order to access the scholarship website, you're just wanna go to Middleborough High School website, and then you go to About Our School, you go to the School Counseling Department. Hopefully my Wi-Fi works. Okay. And then you go to Scholarship Information. And then, here's our lovely faces. And then we have the different sections in the scholarship book. So the scholarship book is right here. Okay. This is what it looks like. It has all the instructions. Make sure you read this fully. Don't, just skip over it and go, oh, I got this, right? The different sections. And then it starts listing the scholarships out. And you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, if it's open to alumni, class of 2024, or both. The deadlines and the description, okay? So read these in full, highlight which ones you are eligible for if you haven't done so already, and then how to submit it. So for an example, the first one you see is this Albert A. Ruth one. You need to submit it via email to, his name is Pat Madigan, but there is his email right there, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a little demo of section 1. I'm gonna go through some of the frequently asked questions I've already gotten from a few students, just so you guys all understand how to kind of get started on the process. So you want to click on the scholarship application. And this is a reminder that section 1 uses the Middleborough High School scholarship application. So this is what it looks like. You're going to want to save it as, Middleborough High School application, whatever it may be, download and save. And then you're going to start filling out your name. So pretend I'm a student here. I'm not going to fill it all out. Do your address, do your parents' information, siblings, class of 2024. It's going to ask for your GPA and your rank. That is on your unofficial transcript. I believe you all have picked up a copy. If not, we have copies ready. You go see Mrs. Pont. Okay, what college you're attending, your major, why did you choose this major?
If you don't know what college you're applying to at the time of submission, put TBA and do your best estimate as to what the costs of the schools that you're considering would be, the highest cost would be. The other piece, we can just scroll back up real quick, where it says, why did you choose this major? This box will just let you type and type and type and type to the point you won't be able to read the words anymore because they're going to get so small. So this does not need to be a novel, okay? It should be more than 1 or 2 lines, but just keep it so to the point where it's still legible. You have to remember, a lot of the people that are running these scholarships are elderly and have a very difficult time reading. So the smaller the print, the more difficult it becomes for them too.
And then you have your activity sheet. For whatever weird reason, it pre-selects freshmen. That's if you're a freshman in college. So you actually want to select 12 HS. And I know that's kind of out of the norm. We're so used to being seniors and just going all the way down and checking 12 for a senior. Make sure you're checking that box off. And that's just good for you to know for next year when you're starting to wrap up your freshman year of college. You are eligible for some of these scholarships again. So just because you're doing them now, you can do them again next year. And I highly encourage that you do that. Because as you know, school is expensive. Again, you're going to want to fill this out. So, your name. And then you can start entering in your activities. Now, I've had a few kids come to me and say, I've run out of space. Like, what do? I have more activities. What am I going to do? You have 2 options. Your first option is to prioritize which activities are the most meaningful to you. And just keep those ones and don't add all of the activities. If you can't choose which ones are more meaningful, or there's really something you want the scholarship organization or committee to know, you can say, please see attached document for more activity details. My advice is stick to what's just on the sheet. Again, these scholarship organizations and committees, they're reviewing hundreds of applications. It's not just Middleborough High School. A lot of them do all the schools in Plymouth County. Some of them are state. And you just want to keep it more simple. But again, if there's more activities than what is listed on the sheet, by all means, go ahead and attach your own document. Again, this is very similar to what you did for the letters of recommendation. Activity sheet's almost identical, to be honest. So this should be easy. Just take your time, make sure your spelling is correct. That is all a reflection of you with your application. Same thing with college applications, right? Make sure you put all your work experience, community service, you all should have some by now because it's a graduation requirement. And that will be all set. So once you have this done, you have this all filled out, you kept section 1 blank, you're gonna start dropping down the box. So let's say I qualify for Bluestone Bank. I'm gonna click Bluestone Bank. I am then going to save it with my changes and write Bluestone Bank completed application. I'm then gonna go down to the next one. Let's say I can do the Dean Award Scholarship. And I'm gonna download again with my changes. Keep doing this, and then that way it's all saved, ready to go to be printed. I always say, even if you're printing them right then and there, one by one, save them too, because you just never know. It's always good to have a backup on your desktop or in your documents folder. Once you have this done, you also need to attach your student summary sheet, okay? That's what financial aid is calling it. For those who might have kids that are already in college or done the FAFSA process, it was formerly called Student Aid Report. They've now changed it to summary sheet. Not really sure why they changed it, but it essentially has all of the same information that it did have in previous years. And that's important to attach. You will get an email from FAFSA when your FAFSA is ready, okay? So hopefully that will be happening in the next few weeks or so. They're gonna email you, and then it will give you directions on how to access it, but if you're still confused or your email, you know, you bypassed your email and didn't see it, we have directions posted in our bulletin board in the office. We know that's an ever-evolving process. We're being flexible as possible. In the event that FAFSA decides we're not gonna have anything ready until May, worst case scenario, right? We will be flexible. We will send an email out with all the information of any changes we may need to make on our end, and we'll send that to both students and parents if it were to come to that point. But we're forecasting, you know, they say it's gonna be ready mid-March, so we're forecasting it to be ready late March, so. And that's why we pushed a lot of those deadlines to April 5th. In previous years, it's usually March 15th, so.
So a few things. Please check your spelling. We actually pulled some applications last year that were just, somebody said they wanted to be, they listed nursing as their, can you go back to that
Yeah, sorry.
application too? They listed nursing as their major, and they spelled nursing N-U-R-S-E-I-N-G. They started their email address and didn't finish it. They didn't put capital letters for proper nouns, names. All those things make a huge difference. I know that things have changed in the world with younger people, but when you've got older people that are used to doing things a proper way, you gotta do it for them, okay? So you have to put your best foot forward, like it is a big deal, okay? So we wanna make sure that you make sure somebody's proofreading these before you send them out. If you can scroll down to the second page of the activity sheet, make sure when you're listing your activities and your jobs that you are writing it as if that person doesn't know what it is. So for the people that, if you are in it, don't answer this. How many people here know what STW is? Only, I don't know what it is. How many people don't know what it is? Okay, so STW is what? Speech and Theater Workshop. So these people on the outside have no idea what STW means, so spell out Speech and Theater Workshop, okay? Same thing with your jobs. If you're working at a place that is just, it's not a place that we would all know, you need to make sure they understand what it is that you're doing at that place, whether it's community service or work or whatever it is. So you really need to make sure, we're so used in our little world here with all our acronyms and everything. We know what it is in-house, but you're sending most of these out to people that may not know. So make sure that you're giving yourself the best shots. They know exactly what it is. Our environmental club is what? It's
Yes, Club.
Yes Club. Anybody here interested in environmental science as a major? Okay. If you just put Yes Club, they're not going to know what that is. So if you put yes in parentheses environmental club, that's related to what you want to do. So they're going to see that you've done more than just classroom stuff with that. Okay. So make sure that you're representing yourself the best way, the best possible way you can.
Absolutely. Any questions on section 1?
Did you say they had to put what the school cost on that from somewhere?
Not on this form. No, not on this form, but the financial aid summary, that will kind of break everything down.
And
So-
in regards to, if there's a grant that was given through the
Yes.
college, does you subtract that, or do you put the actual cost of the college?
Subtract that.
Okay.
No?
Hmm,
Oh, just kidding.
No. So,
Just kidding, sorry.
no, this actually came up before we started also. So, some of the sponsors are going to send your award directly to the college after first semester. They want to make sure that you actually went there, okay? So none of this is going to necessarily be applied for your first semester in college. Some of the sponsors are going to give you the check, and you can spend it on any of your college expenses, whether it's going directly towards financial aid, towards the actual tuition and fees, or buying books, or incidentals, or whatever it is that you might need for school. If it's being sent directly to the college, some colleges are going to deduct that from the amount of money that they're going to give you, from their aid, okay? If that is not the case where it's coming to you, don't mention to the colleges that you got this. Because once they find out, then they may say, oh, okay, how much is that? Let's take $5,000 off now, okay? So just keep that your little secret, okay?
So related to that question, if you don't know where you're going yet because everything's messed up, are you either averaging your college costs or are you picking the most expensive school?
Well, ethically,
Pick the most expensive one, right? 'Cause
ethically, we really can't tell you what to do, but do what's in your best interest, I would say.
And then if you put undecided and it is one of those ones that send it to your college after the fact, are they gonna contact me afterwards and say I get the award? Are they gonna ask me where I went so they can send it? Or how would that work if I don't
It depends
specify?
on the scholarship. If
Okay.
they are sending it out, yes, they're gonna need to know where.
So they'll
where-
contact me
yeah.
after the fact.
So what'll
and say,
happen
"I'm
is when you
undecided
get,
for now."
if you're getting a scholarship that's affiliated through us, through our scholarship book, then you're gonna get an invitation to scholarship night. And when you go up on stage, they're gonna hand you a little bag and it's gonna have all kinds of information of
Okay.
what you need to do. Now, every year, we get calls from sponsors saying, in January, saying, so-and-so didn't send us a transcript and claim their scholarship. I'm not sure why people would do that, and then sometimes we can't get in touch with you anymore because you don't have a school email address anymore. Use your personal email addresses when you're filling these applications, and not your school ones, okay? Because that'll make it easier for the sponsors to contact you and say, hey, do you want this or not? Because we haven't heard back from you yet.
And just so you guys know, if you are a recipient, you are agreeing for us to share your contact information in the event that the scholarship, you didn't claim your scholarship. So for example, Oak Point had quite a few kids that didn't claim their scholarships this past semester, so I was able to share contact information, but typically it's mom and dad's information because we don't have student cell phones on file. Just a little tidbit to keep in mind. So we want to make sure you guys get your money.
When they ask you about your major and you don't know your major, what do you put down on your,
I would say just undecided, and then explain why you're undecided. Maybe you're torn between two different fields, maybe you're just still trying to explore what your passions and interests are.
thank you.
And undecided is the most popular major.
Yes,
You don't have to declare until the end of your sophomore year. Yes.
So for the FAFSA, obviously we don't have it yet, so we can't, any ones that are asking for FAFSA, we have to wait. We can't send it in and say we'll send it afterwards. I have to wait to send all applicant
So you have to
materials.
wait as long as you can
Yes.
without missing a deadline.
Okay.
But so
Okay.
like those March 15th deadlines, right, there's a few with March 15th that might require FAFSA. Still submit your application, you're gonna write a note or somewhere on the application, filed FAFSA, still waiting to hear back, okay?
And for these ones or any ones that we have to just wait?
These ones, most of these are due April 5th, so the hope is that you have your FAFSA by then. So we're still being optimistic about that, so. But in the event, like I said, if it's really bad and FAFSA comes out and says it's delayed until May or even later, then we will reevaluate how we go forward with that.
So will that change, will the deadlines change in the book or?
Yes, they will.
The new
April
deadlines?
5th, yeah.
Oh, okay. Another thing, please be very careful with scholarship applications. I had one of my students last year use the Section 1 application for all of the scholarships and did not get any scholarships. because he didn't even apply to section 1, but he used section 1 for section 3 individual
We'll
applications.
show you, we'll pull up one
Okay.
from section 3, just to
So
show you.
scholarship, so the section one's only for the booklet that's in the,
So section 1 is the application we just showed you.
This one.
That application is for section 1 applications only.
So see, like in the booklet, here's section 1, and then here starts section 1, all the ones that are in section 1, you keep going. And remember, just because it's the same application, some of them have to be mailed, like for example, the Dr. Richard Gross Memorial Scholarship, you have to mail that, okay? And she has the April 5th deadline, which is great. There were a few people that were like, nope, we need March 15th because we have a committee meeting on March 20th, for example. But most of them have changed to April 5th, which is great. So you
Sec-
keep going.
Section
Eventually.
2, yeah, and section 2 has no physical application. It's an online application.
Okay, so that, all those scholarships I just scrolled by use the same application, right? So I just kept going. Then it starts section 2. You'll see this, the dollar per scholars. Okay, this is in the book. And then these are all the ones for section 2.
You just
And then-
fill out that application
Yeah.
one time, and it will tell you what you're eligible for.
Yes.
I have a little bit of a redundant question for the March 15th deadline. If it is due March 15th and it has to be mailed, does it have to be postmarked March 15th
Yes.
or in hand March 15th?
Postmarked March.
Thank you.
Yes. So you'll see like, especially pay close attention to section 3, that's where you're gonna see the earlier deadline. So for an example, the American Legion Auxiliary Scholarships, that was actually due March 1st. So that one's done, okay? And it had to be postmarked for March 1st. But those are where you're gonna see a lot of the 15th. Luckily, those are their own scholarships. So not all of them want FAFSA information. Honestly, most of them don't want the FAFSA information. And you'll just have to pay attention when you pull up the actual applications in section 3. So when you click on section 3, it brings you to like a little Google Drive. We'll click on the cranberry one. Okay, and then read this fully, because whatever the instructions are, you have to follow. It's not our application that we have, it's whatever they wanna do. Okay, so obviously, you know, you're eligible for it, you just fill it out. Sometimes they have like estimated, so for an example, this one has like a total estimated expenses per year, and then the estimated FAFSA. Again, if you don't have your FAFSA information yet, obviously leave it blank or write a note, still waiting on FAFSA. I did email all the scholarship organizations and partners to let them know about FAFSA and what's going on, so a lot of them are understanding and know that there's been a delay. And you know, we're here to help them understand that process as well.
And some of those, their applications may be a tad bit out of date. So for
Yeah.
example, look at this one where it says EFC,
Yeah.
estimated, are they calling it EFC still?
No.
No, they're not calling it EFC anymore. So it's gonna be that,
The SAI.
yeah,
SAI. So
Okay.
so again, FAFSA's just decided they want to redo the whole thing, which is great. It's probably long overdue for a change. It's pretty much been the same since I went to college. But now it's called the SAI, so it's the Student Aid Index, and essentially that's like a number you get based off of your need, from what I understand. Again, I was hoping, I have quite a few family members and family friends that had to file for FAFSA because they have seniors. I was hoping that we would have heard back so I could at least show you what it looks like, but again, FAFSA said they're not gonna be ready until mid-March, which again, we're expecting really realistically late March. Okay.
I know that when we filed our FAFSA, we got an SII number back immediately.
Oh,
Is
good.
that a thing, or is that not, is that an
No,
estimated
that's-
SII, or is that a different?
Well, to be fair, that number came back at 0.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
no,
you
no,
start
no,
at
no,
0.
It was a long number.
Was
No,
it?
no, no, no.
No, and I put it wrong.
It basically popped up and said, hey, thanks for doing all this work, you're not getting anything. It was very clear.
So, never mind, they're ignore my question then.
Again, FAFSA's like, you know, it's ever evolving, it's ever changing, they seem to be making a lot of changes to it. So when in doubt, when that student, it's called, they change it to student summary FAFSA sheet. When that is available, that's what you need. That will have all the breakdown, any Pell grants you get, any type of grants, any type of loans, it will have that all broken down. Any other questions? Yes.
So, back to what Sarah said, so we did the FAFSA in the beginning,
Yeah,
and we got an SAI number.
good.
So is that completely done, or didn't they say they were gonna update it and change the number?
No, I think
Yes.
it's updated and changing.
Yeah, don't trust it, because they had all the calculations wrong when it first got released, and they
Yes.
said they have to redo all the calculations.
That's part of the delays, they're redoing the calculations, apparently. So,
Do all of those files have criteria or eligibility criteria? Because I swear I opened some of them and they had no, like,
Not in the applications.
No, you have to go to
You
the
have to go to the
actual
book,
book.
the scholarship book.
So, for an example, we just pulled up the
Section
cranberry,
three?
the section 3, yep.
oh,
So section 3, right, they match, and then let's say I want to apply for the cranberry one, I have to read the description, so if that applies to you, then you have to pull up the application, fill it out, and then this one wants it mailed to a PO box by March 31st. So like I said, be very careful with section 3, that's where you're gonna get kind of those weird deadlines. Because again, it's their application, it's their thing, they're choosing the recipients, it's not really, we're just hosting it and putting it in our book to advertise, but it's really on them.
Please don't dump all the applications in our office. They will not make it to the sponsors by the deadline.
Yes.
Because what ends up happening, we've got, in addition to scholarships, got a lot of other things that are happening at that time of year. We just started course selection, and there's a bunch of other stuff that we've got a lot of things with. So what ends up happening on our end is anything that's dropped off with us kind of sits in a box for a little bit until we get the pressing things of the moment done, and then we go back and we look and we say, oh, this person dropped every single scholarship up with us, and the deadline's passed for the scholarship where it should have gone. So please be very careful and make sure that you just, again, it's just reading, and for some reason that's just kind of a lost art form these days. The instructions are very clear on the first page of that book, and within each section and within each description. So if you read those things, you will not miss a beat.
And the other thing, if it is a scholarship application that gets dropped off here, please leave it with an adult. Either leave it with your school counselor or Mrs. Pont. Do not just leave it at Mrs. Pont's desk. Don't slide it under the door. You need to leave it with an adult. I mean, it's an important application. It's essentially, hopefully you're getting some free money, so we want to make sure that we have it organized, it's going to the right place. Mrs. Pont has already gotten some where she's like, oh, nope, this one does not go to me, you have to mail this one out, right? So just take your time, and, just do it slowly,
We've had people in the past say they slid them under a door, and who knows, custodians pro could have thought that it was trash and swept it up, but yeah, there's a million things that can happen. Hand it to somebody in our office to make sure that it is being received.
And the other thing that just came to mind, I meant to mention about Dollars for Scholars, it asks for a school representative or school adult, put your actual guidance counselor. So if you have me, you're gonna put me. If you have Mr. Goldman, put Mr. Goldman. If you have Mrs. Byrne or Mr. Swiderski, make sure you put them down, because there's something we have to do on our end, kind of like college applications, we have to kind of verify you're in good standing and verify your class rank. So make sure you put your actual school counselor that is assigned to you down.
So I have a question about the Dollars for Scholars one. From what my experience, I could be doing it wrong, it won't show you the scholarships until after you fill it out, correct? So none of those are gonna be due March 31st, would they have a later deadline, or because I'm trying to fill it out, and there's also information we've run into that you can't fill out, and it won't let you go past there.
So, Dollars for Scholars is actually an outside organization.
Okay.
We don't want to give you the wrong information regarding how they're handling it. We do know that there was an issue with their application, and that supposedly was resolved over the weekend. A person that might be able to give you much better information is Mrs. Holmgren. She is part of the Dollars for Scholars Committee.
Okay.
And she's kind of like not just on the committee, she's kind of like the secretary for them too.
Okay.
So she could either give you the answer or find the correct answer for you, but that's an outside group that we just, we don't want to speak for them and give you the wrong.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
If we mail something like that we're supposed to mail and gets lost in the mail, are we just crap out of luck, or
I really hope that doesn't happen. Honestly, I think that's on the scholarship organization if they want to be lenient or not with that. That's hopefully a very rare case.
so how would I tell them how would I know if it got lost in the mail? Would I just not ever hear back from them?
Probably. Well, we're gonna hope that doesn't happen. Luckily, a lot of these are going just to addresses in Middleborough, so it shouldn't have to go through Boston Sorting Center or anything like that.
But this brings up a really good point also. How many of you, not adults, How many of you know how to properly address an envelope? Okay. That's better than we thought. But you may want to talk with your parents to make sure that you are putting the address and the return address in the correct spots and the stamps, and that you have enough postage on it and all that, okay? Because that's not something you guys are used to doing. Everything you guys do is electronic.
Maybe in the next Flex Block, we'll do how to address an envelope and how to write a check. Maybe we'll do that.
That'd be great.
Actually, honestly, it'd probably be helpful, right?
Yes, it would be.
Any other questions? We'll stick around too, so if you don't want to ask in the big group, which I understand, I wouldn't want to because I'm an introvert, we'll stick around. And then if you think of anything later, please either email myself, you can email Mr. Goldman, stop by the office tomorrow, say hi to Mrs. Pont. You know, we're here to support you. Please, please, please do not wait until the last minute. Not only does it stress you out, it stresses us out, trying to scramble. We want to make sure you guys get these opportunities. It's a wonderful program. I came from a much larger high school, I came from Brockton High, and I have to say this program is really, really good. A lot of money for a smaller town, so it's great that we have so many wonderful opportunities to give you guys.
And if you work, you know, we've had students that have walked away on scholarship night with $16,000 in their back pockets. And this looks like a very overwhelming process. It's not as overwhelming as it looks. Okay, it's just you gotta get started. I mean, suggestion is go to the book first, print the book out, highlight the ones that you want to apply to. Go to section 1, and then just fill out the application, the body of the application, the activity sheet, and then go in and just quickly go to the drop and print out and save each one that you want. Go to section 2, fill out the dollars for scholars information, and then let them do the rest. And then section 3 is the individual one. So it's not as overwhelming as it looks. You just gotta jump in and just say, okay, if you just dedicate a few hours here and a few hours there, and don't push it up to the very end, because you will run out of time. It's just a detailed process, that's all it is. And the other piece was,
While you're thinking, I
It'll
have
come to you
something
in a minute,
else,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I also email out scholarships that didn't make the book. So for an example, Northeastern Savings Bank, right, we all know them. They have a scholarship that's being offered to Plymouth County students, right? So I emailed that out. So please, seniors, check your email. It comes from the MHS guidance, and it's usually the same subject line every time, scholarship opportunity, exclamation point, right? So I've been sending those out all year, but continue to check, because I'm still getting some mailed to me now, which is nice. They just didn't make the book for whatever reasons, right? So there's still opportunities outside of this program to apply. I get monthly newsletters, so I just got March's, so I'll be sending that out tomorrow morning.
Great resource also is FastWeb.
Yeah.
You go to FastWeb, you'll find lots of scholarship opportunities there. That's just a massive data bank of scholarships. I remember what I was going to say. Transcript requests. If you do need a transcript, don't wait until the last day, because the last day to request a transcript is April 4th, the day before, because it takes a 24-hour turnaround to get everything processed. And I can guarantee what's going to happen is everyone's going to wait till the last couple of days, and Mrs. Pont is going to be extremely busy getting transcripts and making copies and all that. So we just want to make sure that you have that information in time before your deadlines, okay?
Will they, like, if we are mailing them out, will they tell us if we don't get it? Like, will they send it to me, like, sorry, we can't give you money, or we just never go back?
You just want to get that.
Alright.
And when you are a recipient, you will get a letter. So you'll get a letter mailed to you, and then you'll get invited to the scholarship award night we have here, which is wonderful. Some scholarships have their own separate events. So for example, Oak Point puts on like a nice reception for the recipients. Strongly encourage, if you are a recipient, to attend those, right? These are people in your community that have given to you, and they want to, especially those Oak Point folks, want to see you and see your wonderful young faces, and hear about what you're going to be doing next year with your scholarship.
Those folks have
I forget
given
how
out
much.
anywhere between $30,000 and $60,000
So I think
in
it was
scholarships.
59 this year, 59,000 they have for us this year.
So there's a lot. They're our biggest donor. So just ask questions, do what you need to do.
Pay attention to your deadlines. If you're not sure about something, just come to the school counseling office. One of us will be able to get you an answer. And we're excited for you guys.
So just for clarification purposes, the scholarship awards night is usually the Wednesday of senior week. Okay, and I think, did Mr. Brandon send something out to
Yeah.
the seniors already?
Yeah.
So, just to be safe, block that day off, because literally the invitation is going to come anywhere from 7 to 5 days before, depending on how quickly everything gets processed, because everything has to get back to our office from the outside people. We need to put together everything and get letters generated and invitations generated and all that, so it's a very short turnaround, so just save the date. That's how you're gonna be notified that you're getting a scholarship initially. You're not gonna know which one or how many, you just know you're getting something, and then that night, you'll find out which scholarships and how much it's gonna be.
Wednesday, the 29th at 6 PM is
Thank
what
you.
was on the
Yes.
transit.
Thank you.
How do you let them know, can you send them like a thank you note for receiving the scholarship?
Yes, absolutely, it's a great idea. What we started doing, and I hope they continue doing this, is we actually put a thank you card in the bag that you get with the information. Make sure you're thanking the sponsors, it's important to do.
Yes, please make sure. I had a sponsor when I was talking to them on the phone. They're like, weird, we got a thank you card from every BP student, but we didn't get any from Middleborough High School. And I went, that can't be true because we give you guys thank you cards. So please take the time.
And if you haven't thanked your teachers for letters of recommendation, you really should do that too.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll stick around if you have questions you'd rather ask individually. Thank you again so much for taking time out
Oh,
of your
one quick
schedule.
announcement also, if you have, for the parents here, if you have any younger kids here at the high school, we are having a huge career and college fair this Thursday in the gym from 5:30 to 7 PM. We have over 75 colleges, universities, 2-year, 4-year trades, gap year programs, trade unions, gap year programs, and military that are going to be here. So it'd be a great opportunity, and it's open to 9 through 12 if you still want to come. It's a great opportunity to get started on just kind of checking out what's available and what might be of interest to you later on. So,
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night.